Went as far as to just consistently hearing the F slur, and not even just in jest, like as a joke. It was specifically, targeted towards people that it was supposed to discriminate against.
Apparently she used to work at Kick, for context.
Even so much as to walk past the socials room, the guys that run the, Kick streaming and Kick community, and hear the N-word just dropped. Hard R. And I'm like, what is this office? How? And they had the executive, like the upper management was in the room. I even remember seeing a couple of people in my team laughing because they were deliberately misgendering transgender streamers. There's a creator on Kick who got a contract through one of the bigger streamers. This creator has special needs, and we gave him a contract out of good faith and the fact that this bigger streamer was quite a fan of him. So
Wait, is this the dude from Aiden stream? I think he's talking about the dude from Aiden stream, bro.
Asked about this streamer's contract renewal, he had a smirk on his face and goes, "I decimated his rate." And this was apparently fucking hilarious because everybody else in the room laughed. I said, "Well, what did you put it down to?" And he proceeded to then brag about the fact that he got him on a below market cent rate for an English streamer. We were talking about the fact that they were trying to get a very beloved Twitch streamer over to Kick to stream Steak as well. Just for context, this particular streamer had been publicly battling cancer recently. So they
Kade? They're trying to get Kade on?
Decided to utilize that in their strategy to get this person over. The conversation very quickly became quite sinister. The quote that I remember hearing was, "We can get her on Kick streaming Steak for a relatively low price because she probably thinks she's gonna die soon."
What the fuck? Oh, nah, wrap it up. Wrap it up. Wrap it up, bruh. No way, bro. That can't be real. That can't be real. Now, I understand motherfuckers are liars and all that shit, but I feel like I have a good lidar, man. What I'm hearing from her, it does not sound like she's lying about this shit, bro.
And she'll want to leave more money for her family. They don't care about pedophiles on the platform. Like this guy right here, I had to fight tooth and nail to get this guy off. This is something I went into detail in the other video, but yeah, fought so hard to get this guy off, and he told two 14-year-old girls that he wanted to do something sexual to them, and he even included their age in the proposition. I mean, if you haven't seen the video, it's so heinous, it's so wrong, and the fact that everyone there could watch it almost with a grin on their face. There were staff members who were defending it, saying that it was a joke. That was actually one of the first times I was like, I have to walk away. If this guy stays on the platform, I have to go. Child endangerment, like,
bro, that's so gross, bro. That was my problem with Kick and Rumble and motherfuckers that championed those platforms this whole time. It would be one thing if you went to a platform that had looser TOS and just stayed the same. You just wanted that freedom to, okay, if I fuck up slightly, I'm not gonna get banned. But a lot of these motherfuckers that switched to Kick, switched to Rumble, showed their real true faces, showed their real true character. And it was like, it's on some like, okay, you get the freedom that you wanted this whole time, and the first thing you do is just drop hard R's? Oh, so you just gonna drop the F-bomb just because you can and you know you can get away with it. Like, that's weird. That's weird behavior, bro. That's fucking weird behavior. And I think with this clip right here, this is proof that it is a trickle-down effect from the top of the company. They never gave a fuck. They never gave a fuck. They never did. That was also my whole problem with whatchamacallit. That was also my whole problem with just accepting this new platform that doesn't have a TOS. And content creators complaining about Twitch's TOS. Because, again, and YouTube too, because motherfuckers have been complaining about YouTube's TOS too at that time span. I'm telling you right now, in actuality, all these motherfuckers are nasty at the top of the helm. Money is the bottom line for them. But these people have TOSs for a reason. these companies have TOSs for a reason. They honestly probably all started off with very loose TOSs, but these edge cases like what's been happening on Kick with pedophiles appearing on the platform, motherfuckers using the platform as just a porn site and also streaming illegal NFL games in front of 800,000 viewers, shit like that. When you tell someone there's no limits on this platform, that's what they're gonna say. I bet. Let's fuck on the platform. A platform that, you know, someone with a big ass platform just introduced to a bunch of minors too. That's what's gonna happen. So that whole complaining about Twitch's TOS to me was bullshit from the beginning. Same thing about YouTube's TOS. Bullshit from the beginning. I do still think there's problems with Twitch's TOS. Right? I do still think there's a problem with how consistent they hand out certain punishments, who they do, who they don't. Hand out certain punishments too. How long X person is going to be banned. How long Y person is going to be banned. You know, there are inconsistencies with that along with YouTube. But this idea of just, this platform's TOS is so anal, I gotta move on to another platform. Why? Like, I don't... That's weird. That's actually extremely weird. Let's see. Publicly, Eddie has attempted to reach out to her, but she did not seem receptive to it. Mel, I am sorry. I didn't get to know you better during your tenure. It's sad to see you leave on bad terms. I wish that further working flexibility could have potentially been organized for you, but consistent department and broader company policy is also important to us. Yo, Eddie, you are the Ronnie 2K of Kick, bro. You are just, I don't even know what you do, bro. But all this corporate lingo that you're putting on the timeline, that shit is not fucking going through me, bro. I'm not buying that shit. Is this her? Oh, this is the full video.
Hi, everyone.
Damn, it's a 19-minute video? Oh, hell nah. All right, well, fuck it. Let's watch it.
For those of you who don't know who I am, which is probably 99% of you, my name's Melissa, and I was previously employed by Kick and Stake. There's been a couple of controversies recently that I've posted on my Twitter just in regards to how they've treated me since I left. Not only did they send me a cease and desist, which I'll go into in a second, in regards to this tweet, or here.
What does it say? Hello, I've decided to step down from my position at Kickstake. Sometimes you have to go with your gut and stand by your values. Good luck, have fun. She got a cease and desist for that? What the fuck?
But they've also been lying about the fact that I was fired when I quit. So I posted this post with my resignation letter in it. I think a lot of people were kind of confused on why I would post a resignation letter to like 700 people that follow me on Twitter. This is because quite a few people in the esports industry do follow my account. And I thought it was a good way to showcase that if they had heard these lies, that they were absolutely unfounded. And I felt like I really had no other option. I mean, it was either let it go or try my hardest to get it out there that was absolutely not the case. Now, when I talk about them lying about me being fired, I'm not talking about an entry-level exec or some account manager. I'm talking about the CMO of both Kick and Stake. The guy that approves all the contracts. He's the head of the affiliate team for Stake. He runs the social media team, but pretty much everything runs through him. Every event, anything at all, as far as ideas or streamers or anything runs through this guy. He's basically Ed. He's on pretty much the exact same level as this guy. He directly reports to Ed. The CMO basically runs everything. I think they decided to go with this strategy because Stake and Kick are supposed to be sort of booming at the moment, and a lot of people in the industry would probably think it was crazy for someone to leave because it's such a big opportunity, and it really is, especially being in Australia where we really don't have a big entertainment industry at all. So, you know, this is kind of a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for people.
I will say this, I think Kick is just cooked from the perspective of, in the grand scheme of things, Twitch is honestly behind YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. So for you to make a platform to compete with this non-competitor, like, for example, like Kick being a success would be having Twitch's audience. Twitch's audience is already damn near considered a failure in terms of like marketing conversations. So unless you thought you was really gonna pull from YouTube's market or Instagram's market by making a Twitch clone, I just don't know exactly what the plan was there. Just didn't really make any sense. And then in terms of getting big creators on the platform, again, you are gonna get a lot of motherfuckers with, $50, $60, $70 million contracts. But when that time is up, and time has been running out for a decent amount of these contracts, a lot of these content creators are going to look at their current situation and say, all right, now that there's no renewal, which platform am I going to make the most money on? And when you steal content creators from a previous platform that they know, like a lot of their audience is going to go back to as soon as they hit go live tonight, for example, Bruce Drop 'Em Off, they're going to look at their situation and say, bro, that ad revenue I can get on Twitch, just give me a 70-30 contract, that is going to negate that 95-5 contract or that 95-5 split that Kick got. It just is, bro. It just is. So they aren't trying to make a legitimate media outlet platform. They're trying to make money off and make a platform edgelords and fringe cases in society. That's true. Aiden and Rage both have major connections to Twitch and a lot of money to be made. That's what I'm saying, bro. Like, again, if Rage says I'm off of Kick and I'm back on Twitch, I'm telling you right now, whatever he was averaging before now, it would just be there. It would just be there, bro. It just would.
I think that they would have thought they would...
Because a lot of his audience right now is only on Kick, honestly, for Rage. They still got Twitch downloaded. You know what I'm saying? They probably still consume a decent amount of Twitch streams. It's just when Rage go live, they gotta go to Kick for that. They don't have loyalty to the Kick platform because of all of this. No. Not at all. Not at all. The only people that would have loyalty to the Kick platform would be the motherfuckers that group platform specifically on Kick and are like doing content that would be exclusive to Kick because of their TOS. So like Neon, Fousey when he was popping, but even Fousey actually popped off on Twitch before he went to Kick, for those who don't remember. So it'd be fucking Neon, Jack Doherty, and I don't know, Johnny Somali, bro. Like, what the fuck?
Get away with saying that I was fired because there's no way someone would leave this business. Little do they know it was actually extremely easy to leave. With the things that go on in that office, the ego on these people is insane to think that no one would leave, but they do employ people purposely that are completely okay with unethical behavior and conduct it themselves and work with zero integrity. So I'm not surprised that
Rice Gum is on Rumble, and he also has a Twitch platform. So I think that same case would apply to Rice Gum. Cheezer and Convy and all the guys that came off of Aiden. I truly don't think they built their own platform. I'm gonna keep it a whole stack. I think respect to them. Maybe not, I don't know. Like a lot of the motherfuckers that like these are guys that like when they go live, they might pull 10,000, 9,000, 8,000. But the only reason is because Aiden isn't live. Like, once Aiden goes live, and I've seen clips of them talking about it, that shit goes from like 9,000 to 2. So
they were surprised that I would leave. I guess that was a mistake on their point to even employ someone like me, thinking that I would be okay with even a quarter of the things that happen in that office. It's important to note that the office environment for me was extremely hostile, not only because I was being treated pretty poorly by a couple of individuals and the people that I went to for help were not helpful at all, but because there was just a consistent disrespect to other people's opinions and beliefs. And this went as far as to just consistently hearing the F slur, and not even just in jest, like as a joke. It was specifically, targeted towards people that it was supposed to discriminate against. Even so much as to walk past the socials room, the guys that run the, Kick streaming and Kick community.
This is what we heard earlier.
And it's like, I came from companies that if you said anything slightly offensive, you were in trouble, if not fired. And I think, there is a balance that you have to strike, but at the end of the day, it's the company's responsibility to ensure that everybody feels safe and welcome. I even remember seeing a couple of people in my team laughing because they would...
And that's the problem with, these freedom of speech warriors. It's just, they take it too extreme. There's no true middle balance there. I understand there may be a problem with workplaces that are too sensitive, where to the point where you just say the wrong thing out of context. Now you're talking about getting fired, and you wanted to make your own company that goes against that belief. But if your company that you make that goes against that belief is just tossing around the F slur willy-nilly just cause, you are not cooking the way you think you really are cooking, bro.
deliberately misgendering transgender streamers. Like who, like how do you function in that environment? So in regards to my resignation letter, a lot of it was blurred. This was just due to the fact that a lot of it was personal information that wasn't really relevant, or it depicted another staff member whose story is not mine to tell. But the part that you could see that I really didn't want public, but I knew if I blurred literally the entire thing out, it would have zero impact and people would just assume that it was fake anyway. So I speak about the fact that I needed flexible working arrangements and that they were revoked. A lot of people assumed that I needed to be home all the time, or I was working from home, or I wasn't showing up from work, or I was taking a ridiculous amount of time off, which is just absolutely not the case. So my daughter started school in February, and every second week I needed to pick her up. So I would get in at around 9:30 after dropping her off. I wouldn't take any breaks or have lunch, and I would leave by about 2:30. It's important to note that a lot of staff members work from home, and we absolutely didn't have a stringent office working environment where we couldn't actually access information outside of the office, especially my team where we had to work 24/7 because we were the POCs for a lot of partners overseas. And also I was consistently working with businesses overseas. So there were times where I would be working from 7 p.m. to 11 p.m. outside of work hours after doing a day's work. So it was very normal to work from home anyway. And all I needed to do was work from home for a couple of hours at the end of the day to pick up my daughter every second week. You can imagine it was a surprise to me when the manager of the partners team, yes, the same guy that has been going around spreading lies about me, sat me down and just flat out said that my flexible working arrangements would be revoked effective immediately and I need to find alternatives.
Damn. You can't even like work with the... Can we just have a discussion first? I hate people who don't just want to have a discussion first. Okay, if it doesn't work, can we find a solution before you just fucking revoke it? God damn.
Found it absolutely disgusting that that was effective immediately when basically giving me no time to come up with an alternative. And not to get too personal, but I don't have anybody to lean on. I don't have friends or family that can help me out here. And they were very aware of that. So for me, there was no other options. They were basically telling me to choose between my child and my work. Of course, I asked if this had anything to do with my performance, because to me, that was the only excusable reason that they could have to even revoke the rights, but to do it so suddenly. I was told in that meeting that it had absolutely nothing to do with my performance, which made sense to me because I wasn't underperforming at all and I hadn't been told ever that I was underperforming. So it would have been very out of the blue for them to just say it in that meeting and not tell me anything prior or give me any kind of...
Rage claims she just wasn't doing her job and that's just life. So is you a cute little red bone? Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you.
Notes prior to that, like,
Rage reacted to this?
Please work on this, or you need to do better here. When I asked what the reason was for this insane backflip, they told me that my parental responsibilities were becoming a burden to the team's morale and that it was going to have an effect on their performance. And as you can see, this was solidified in this email. Yes, I have blurred out the rest because it's totally irrelevant and I want to make sure that this stays on track. This was very hurtful. You know, if you're a parent, you know that your morale is also very low, especially if you're working full time. So to hear that other people's morale was low for me having to run around like a psychopath every morning and every night trying to, you know, scurry together to get her to school, to get to work, to leave work, to go get her, you know, it was a lot of pressure on me and it's a lot of pressure on anybody. And to be so blatantly just disregarded, you know, and overlooked in that moment, it really sucked. Look, I wasn't at all surprised about being treated like this because the way that company is run is unimaginable, but it did make me sad being told that basically my daughter was a burden to other people. I also reference in this resignation letter that I was being mistreated by a couple of co-workers. I'm not going to get into this right now because honestly, it's just a lot.
There's get into it, man. You got 12 more minutes.
A lot to say. I actually made a video that was an hour and a half long about Kick, but I decided that I kind of came off a little bit like this guy, so I am not going to release that right now.
Rage and XQC denounced her involvement with Kick. They have been there for not very long, I believe. Rage is blinded by the bag. Rage contract is going to end soon, so he's probably going to go back to Twitch. He just tries to persuade his whole chat to agree with... Damn. YRG Jabba, how will you respond? This is... Damn.
I'm just going to go into my last month at the company and what was the turning moments that made me go, this is absolutely not worth it anymore. So after being told that I couldn't have flexible working arrangements, I sought out the CMO, that great guy, and I was like, what do I do? Where do I run? Who do I speak to? Blah, blah, blah. He goes, I'll speak to Ed. Ed is the one that basically fires you or he doesn't because of these types of issues. So every single day I came in, I was like, okay, I'm expecting them to give me an answer. You know, a week went by, 2 weeks went by, 4 weeks went by, and I'm still chasing this guy up. Like, what's going on? Can you just let me know? Like, can we talk about alternatives? I'm happy to do an extra day on the weekend if I have to. Like, I wanted to continue to try and move this platform to a good place, a safe place, a savory place for the industry. And I couldn't do that if I didn't work here. And honestly, they need all the help they can get in that regard, because most people that work there really don't give a shit. I actually never got clarity on this at all. I actually quit before I ever got clarity about it, so who knows what would have happened. The stress of not knowing was definitely a part of wanting to leave, but there were two specific incidences in my last couple of weeks, maybe 3 weeks, that really solidified the fact that I was absolutely not in the right place. One of these incidences was when I was in a meeting, and for those of you who don't know, there's a creator on Kick who got a contract through one of the bigger streamers. This creator has special needs, and we grew up with a dick. So I was really concerned, the manager of the partners team. And I don't know if you guys have figured this out or not yet, but he's a massive dick.
Okay.
So
I just heard the word dick out of context. That was crazy. Oh yeah, we learned about this earlier.
Really concerned that this streamer wasn't going to be treated well, and I was right. So when I asked about this streamer's contract renewal, he had a smirk on his face and goes, "I decimated his rate." And this was apparently fucking hilarious because everybody else in the room laughed.
That's so crazy, chat, but I will say this, and it is fucked up. Don't get me wrong. That is not exclusive to Kick, man. I've gotten fucked over before. I ain't gonna lie, bro. I've gotten fucked over before by certain companies that, especially at that time, knew I was underage, knew I was a new content creator, gave me fucked up terms, fucked up contracts, lowballed the fuck out of me. And that's why, like, I'm such, I know this is going to be a crazy sentence, but I'm such a big pocket watcher, is because if you don't know the going rate, the standard going rate for content creators of your size, if you don't know the going rate for content creators within your same niche, within your community, it is so easy to get fucked over, especially those motherfuckers who don't know what a CPM is, don't know like how they even come up with these rates. It is so easy to get fucked over. And the main thing you can do to prevent that is to talk to people within your community, to talk to other content creators, and honestly for other content creators to just be vulnerable and be open about how much they make. That's the only solution to not getting fucked over. Because on their end, it kind of makes sense, right? Like if you can buy this type of marketing at a lower rate than what you're supposed to pay, why wouldn't you take that, right? But as the content creator, you gotta protect yourself and say, bro, listen, y'all are throwing me $1,000 bag for this one ad read, but if the going rate is $10,000, I understand $1,000 is like not like it's tough to pass on $1,500 or whatever the fuck it is. But if the going rate is $10,000, I need to know that information. I need to know I'm not getting screwed over. So that's why I'm like pro pocket watching, bro. I can't lie.
I said, well, what did you put it down to? And he proceeded to then brag about the fact that he got him on a below market cent rate for an English streamer. Everybody thought this was funny, and I was shocked. And even if I think about this too much, it actually makes me cry, because the thought of how bad this streamer must have felt, it's just not right. And the level of just cruelty,
especially doing this to a person with special needs too, bro. Come on, bro. Come on.
There as well, and just absolute like no compassion towards the fact that this person, there are no words. I have no words about this. It made me, I don't use the word hate very often, but it made me hate this person, which was very difficult because he was managing that team that I was a part of. Being around these people and those people who thought it was funny became impossible. And this is amongst a billion other things that I put in that 1.5-hour video that I haven't released, but I think this kind of adequately depicts the type of people that are pulling the strings behind this platform. The second reason, so the second incident that happened about 2 days prior to me leaving, which really solidified it. I walked out of this meeting, called my friend and was like, it's done. I'm done. I'm out of here. I cannot do this anymore. We were talking about the fact that they were trying to get a very beloved Twitch streamer over to Kick, to stream Stake as well. And God, it's horrible. And just for context, this particular streamer had been publicly battling cancer recently. So they decided to...
Bro, that's actually so fucked up, because I know exactly who the fuck they're talking about, bro. That's crazy. That's crazy. Actually taking advantage of someone who has fucking cancer and has like a legitimate like clock to their life prematurely is like, yo, what the fuck is wrong with y'all, bro?
Utilize that in their strategy to get this person over. The conversation very quickly became quite sinister. I'm going to say a quote, and it's something that I cannot get out of my head because it's so heinous to me. And I think it will speak volumes in, the type of characters that work there, which is why I had to get out. The quote that I remember hearing was, "We can get her on Kick streaming steak for a relatively low price because she probably thinks she's going to die soon and she'll want to leave more money for her family." When I heard that, I actually was surprised. I sort of looked up in surprise, and everybody else was sort of looking at this person that was speaking and just being like, yeah, that's true. Let's go with that. Like, I think we can get this person. And I remember feeling
how money driven do you gotta be to like say that sentence and just be like, I mean, that does make sense. You spitting, bro. Like, what?
Getting really hot after that. Like, I just felt like I was in hell. And I was talking to the devils, and I was talking to demons, like, and these demons were plotting to, take over the world, and I had to stop them. Like, it felt so bad. When I walked out of that meeting, I actually ended up going home early because I needed to after having that conversation with my friend, I just needed to really, really think hard about whether I could stick this out. And obviously my decision was that I was going to walk away. I had no intention to expose the company, although a lot of people that I did speak to about these issues, like throughout the entire time I was there, and then obviously when I left and the reasons why, they said that people should know about this, especially because this company has so much influence. Letting people know about what's going on behind the scenes might help them hold them accountable, and there is nothing without accountability. And right now, they are not accountable for anything. As you can see, they just let shit slide. They do anything. They don't care about pedophiles on the platform. Like this guy right here, I had to fight tooth and nail to get this guy off. This is something I went into detail in the other video. But yeah, fought so hard to get this guy off. And he told two 14-year-old girls that he wanted to do something sexual to them. And he even included their age in the proposition. I mean, if you haven't seen the video, it's so heinous. It's so wrong. And the fact
it's just crazy to me because the main reason that, outside of just truly not caring, is because they would legitimately look like big hypocrites if 2-3 years into their business, their TOS was just like Twitch's. Like, you can't. What you mean? What you mean my VOD's gonna be muted if I play copyrighted music? I thought y'all was better than Twitch. Huh? What the fuck happened? What you mean I can't say the F word anymore, man? What the fuck? Like,
the fact that everyone there could watch it almost with a grin on their face. There were staff members who were defending it, saying that it was a joke. That was actually one of the first times I was like, I have to walk away. If this guy stays on the platform, I have to go. Child endangerment, like having children on the platform. Before I got there was no verification process for if somebody was underage. And it's so funny because by the time I left,
there still isn't.
Me and compliance had put together a process, and because I was pushing it so hard, I'm like, we cannot allow anybody under 13 to stream. Now, nobody knew this, by the way, because I guess when you copy Twitch's TOS verbatim and then you just get some random guy in the office to change, the wording, none of the staff know the terms of service. So a lot of people were just like, nah, she can stream even if she's 6 years old because, she'll have her dad near her or whatever.
So they literally copy Twitch's TOS and they just don't enforce it? Oh my God, wallahi, chat. Wallahi, bro. Jeez.
It's like, no, that's actually not the case. She cannot be on the platform and she cannot hold her own account. Funnily enough, when I left, I was like, okay, good. The child safety part is pretty much done. They have a process now in place, and I'm pretty sure there's no need to allow children on the platform because what market are you trying to capture? You already have pedophiles on the platform. Are you just trying to appease them? Like, what's the point? I still don't know because I saw this tweet about 2 or 3 weeks ago where a prominent staff member is promoting on Twitter an 11-year-old boy who, whilst I was there, I was the reason why this kid got banned. And I'm sorry to the child that, that might upset you, but it's about your own safety. And especially on Kick, I feel like sometimes Kick should be under it. You can't even be on it under 18. This child was banned when I was there because, I did have a zero tolerance towards it because children need to be protected, not only against the people on the platform, but you need to protect children against being, exploited by their parents, which you see on YouTube.
What even is the counter push to this? Now I'm interested to see what Rage and XQC said about it. How the fuck do you defend a? Well, I know how. You're getting paid by them, like tens of millions of like NBA money. But how the fuck do you defend workplace environments like this, bro? Like, what the fuck?
YouTube all the time. You need to protect children from people on the streams. Like if he got chatbotted, or you know, a bad character came into his stream and started saying horrible things that you can only imagine, I would feel guilty for that. And who knows what that's going to do to that child as he grows up. Ugh, God, it's I just can't believe these people. Anyway, so as you can see in the tweet, he's just promoting him. He's reinstated his account. The kid gets featured all the time. And he's verified. And he's 11. And the reason I know he's 11 is because on his Facebook page that he used to stream on, it says, I turned 11 in Dallas. They just blatantly ignore their terms of service, which are in place to protect children from dipshits like this, that I, for some reason, had to fight to get off the platform. I'm sorry, it's this type of shit. This just makes me so frustrated because
I like the
bare
passion out of her,
minimum
though,
is to protect
'cause
kids.
she sound like she
And
cared,
these
bro.
two examples just
sound
showcase
like
that they
she
could
cared.
care less. They could care less. There were times where I was nearly in tears because I just didn't understand why.
That's always been my problem with TOSs though, is when they're enforced, it's on some like, I mean, this is what you signed up for. You know, when you sign up for this account, you did sign up to agree to our TOS. But my problem with TOSs has always been the enforcement of them. I don't blame TOSs for existing, but I do have a problem with how they're enforced. Whether it's, the rule says, you know, you can't be doing shit like this, but why the fuck is this on the platform? Or it's on some, the rule says you can't be doing this, but you got this person doing this person doing this, but only this person got banned for this. That's my problem with TOSs. It's not necessarily their existence, but how they're like, who the fuck is enforcing this shit, bro?
They cared so much about letting this guy stay and letting this kid on the platform. I don't understand. I do understand that the less savory streamers do have viewers that are likely to mortgage their fucking house to stream on stakes. So that is the reason. And well, you know, what's a few pedophiles for a few $1 billion? So anyways, thank you for watching. I don't know if this video is even going to go anywhere. I hope it does, because this is the only way that they're going to be held accountable.
Let me ask all this, Kick. Not Kick, chat. Do y'all look at the content creators who took that bag weirdly now? Now knowing all this information about Kick, knowing what Kick has become. Do y'all look at the motherfuckers weirdly, in a weird light now? Or is it on some, hey man, I do a lot of $50 million was right in front of me. You know what I'm saying? If someone walked up to me and said, yo, $50 million, all you gotta do is hit a certain amount of streaming hours. And maybe that's where my morals are fucked up. But I guess it's also a situation of like, again, you don't get max contracts like that if you aren't already making a bunch of money, at least in content creator land. You know what I'm saying? Like, for you to get a $50 million contract, you're probably already making 20, 30 on Twitch. Just hyperbolic statements, but you're probably already making good money on Twitch. So, like, damn, you just need that 20, like, what does that 10, 20 more million dollars, what is that really pushing the needle for you? You know what I'm saying? I separate the art from artists. I enjoy Rage's content, but I separate his business decisions and business takes. Most of them, yeah, in some cases, they might want to say something but can't. But for the most part, yeah, we all know motherfuckers who took the Kick deal just wanted to say some slurs, then leave, how Ninja did with Mixer. Yeah, I mean, that was the problem with, at least for Kick in terms of handing out those big contracts is, I'm going to keep it a whole stack outside of that big contract. That 95-5 split is the biggest lie in the content creator industry, bro. The whole idea of, oh, if you go to Kick, you're going to make so much more money because per sub, they're giving you 95% of your money, bro. Like, isn't that crazy? And you do this math of, like, how much money you'd be making with 2,000 subs on Kick versus 2,000 subs on Twitch. First of all, it doesn't work that way because on Twitch, there's ads. You can get higher splits on Twitch as well. Most of the time, you also get higher viewership on Twitch, and all these factors that play into it. But I don't know. It's a tough thing, bro. It's a tough thing. because I get where these content creators are coming from. You know, this is probably life-changing money for a lot of these dudes. But I also get the point of like, all right, gang, did you really need it? You know, so.
I also don't know what's going to happen to me because of this video. I don't really care if they sue me. I doubt Steak wants to be in a courtroom anyway. But if they do, I mean, I have nothing to take anyway. I guess I'll pay them like $30 a week for the rest of my life, or I'll declare bankruptcy. But I guess the worst thing would be if I just disappear randomly. You know, crazy things have happened to people that go against big gambling companies. Just look it up. But so if I do disappear randomly, luckily I moved house recently and I'm not even on the list, so hopefully they can't find me. But I feel like after recording that long video and even doing this one, it's been very cathartic for me. It's really sorted out a lot of my thoughts, and I've been able to really reflect on what happened there and how wrong it all was. There is so much more, but I think for now that kind of at least showcased my little story about why I left. And yeah, I appreciate it, and please just be aware of these things. And I'm not trying to shame anybody on Kick, any creator. If you're on Kick and you think that, you know, it's better for your community or you're happier there, that's totally fine. It's not your responsibility to, you know, take on the burden of the inner workings of a company that you're slightly associated with by using their platform.
Now, do y'all agree with that? Is it maybe Rage and XQC, no, but is it a guy like Adin Ross's responsibility knowing he has ownership in the company? I think for Adin, yes. For Rage and XQC and I don't know, Hikaru, because I know Hikaru got like a Kick deal. I don't think it's their responsibility at all to manage that company, and now their brand is being tarnished off of it. But nevertheless, this is tough right here. Thank God I never went to Kick, right? There was a couple like when I was trying to decide what my streaming platform would be, I did do a couple Kick streams, but it's just not worth it, bro. It's just not worth it.